What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Check this out. It's a miniaturized version of a little Cinewhoop with foam bumpers on it. This one somehow kind of passed me up on the Banggood website, but I requested it, but I had no idea it was a shrunk down version of a little tiny 3-inch Cinewhoop. But this one has 40mm blades on here. We have an F4 flight controller, Cadex Baby Turtle with 1080p DVR. We have 12 amp ESCs, 0803 motors, 12,000 kV, and those are Happy Model branded motors. Gym fan props, 1635 props on here, and those are push-on props, so no screws, which makes it kind of easy. And I have my Insta 360 on here. This is the Go camera. It's not a 360 camera, but it does stabilize video. So we're gonna do a little comparison between the Go and the Cadex Baby Turtle. We're gonna do some flying on 2 and 3S for you guys in this review. And we're gonna do some big field flying, see how it does. We'll try to freestyle this, but I don't really think it's a freestyle drone. I think it's mostly a Cinewhoop. So let's go ahead and get it up on 2S first. After that, we'll do some 3S, and then we'll come back and we'll give you a final report on it. Final flight report. Here we go. Okay, guys, let's start out with the Cadex Baby Turtle on here. This is 1080p at 60 frames per second, recorded to the onboard DVR. Now, I have to say, I love the Baby Turtle. It's super easy to use. You just pretty much put in an SD card, and this is the result of the video that you can get. I use the SanDisk Extreme Gold cards. Around 32 gigabytes are probably my best size card. It can produce hours of video, so a pretty good size. And if you get too big of a card in there, it actually won't record any video. So don't try to put a 128 in there. I'm not sure that that's going to work, but maybe someone can put a comment down below to confirm that. Now in Acro mode, let's talk about flight characteristics of this quad. Acro mode will allow you to do flips and rolls. I did get some occasional washout and some freak out of the flight controller. I was able to freak it out. That also may be due to the little bit of wind that I was flying in this afternoon. But up close and down low is where this quad really performs. If you want to fly really extremely precise type of flying and practice flying in between obstacles and things, this quad will go places no other type of Cinewhoop will go. It is extremely lightweight, probably one of the lightest Cinewhoops out there with foam bumpers. And it's kind of cool to see like a little mini shrunk down version of a 3-inch Cinewhoop. You can't carry a GoPro in here, obviously, so you have to look for smaller alternative video options, but it will carry my Insta360 Go just fine. And we're gonna compare some video between these two coming up. The Go just gives you more stabilization, but in my opinion, I think the Cadex Baby Turtle has a little more definition and uploads to YouTube a little bit better. Now we're gonna try out some tight proximity flying with this little cinema quad, and this is an area where I can't really generally fly my 5-inch quads for very long because I usually clip one of these little mini Christmas trees, but this little DX40 can just about go anywhere. It's kind of amazing how slow and precise this little drone can be. It's very, very precise, and it seems to want to do better. Even there, I'm able to avoid the obstacles, those little metal spikes right there. But it seems to want to perform even better in stability mode. So for the beginners, this is an awesome quad. I think that as far as the duality is concerned on this quad, it doesn't quite have duality like I talk about freestyle and cinema capability. I think it's more of a cinema drone. So we're gonna label this one a pure cinema drone in a compact size format. And also flying in these trees right here, I've never actually flown back in this section of the trees because if I have any type of failure, you can see that foliage down below. It'd be extremely hard to get in here and get this quad out. So I'm taking a lot of chances and I feel really comfortable flying this quad. And on the extreme end of the throttle, you do see a little bit of kind of fluttering around with those 40mm props. You can also experiment with other props to see if you get a little smoother flying characteristic out of it. There's a lot of little 40mm props you can test out there. The ones that are on there are okay. They're not really my recommended prop. I'll try to find some good ones and put down below for you. But now you're looking at my Insta360 Go camera, and this is where you can really crank it up a notch with the cinema capability. There's those foam bumpers coming into play. I have nylon duct inserts on this quad as well, which make it even more resilient than PLA, and also extremely lightweight. but this is where it performs great up close and personal, and the stabilization on the go is just absolutely fantastic and amazing. Most of the guys I know now are getting the Insta360 Go for their micro brushless quads because it's really very, very lightweight. I believe it was around 16 grams. I mentioned before it was about 35 grams, but it's actually 16 grams, which is extremely lightweight for a 1080p, 60 frames per second, and stabilized video. I'll have to double check the specs to make sure that it's 60. It might be 30, but the compression up to YouTube looks a little better for the Caddx Baby Turtle in the bottom left, as you can see there. And it's just a little softer looking for the upload to YouTube from the Insta360 Go. But I'm still really happy with both of the color variations and the color spectrum on both these cameras. I think the light and darks are also looking really good. You can see the shadow in there from the quad. And tons of tonal range and clarity. It looks really good. The stabilization is, again, my favorite part about the Insta360 Go. That's just phenomenal on little quads like this one. But the bumpers seem to work really well, and I sometimes have damage in my reviews, and this quad came back with 0 damage, and it was one of those quads that I had that I just wanted to keep flying over and over the entire day. But I got rained out today. There were kind of breaks in between the clouds here and there, and eventually I was forced to leave because there was a huge front coming in. But yes, this one is absolutely worth every penny to me, and I think it has a lot going for it. Size, format factor, and what you can get, and just the enjoyment factor of this quad is extremely high. I think anybody that bought this one would really enjoy it. So I'm really extremely happy with the performance of it and the video that I brought home. Let's talk about some final thoughts. All right, guys, welcome back. The after flight report now. Let's talk about what this little quad is all about. So I think that the PID tune on here is pretty good. You can also top mount the battery, and that might give you a little less tumble or issues with it kind of washing out on you and going like this while you're flying forwards. It might also give you a little bit less kickback from the props. So I think that overall flying it was fun. And in stability mode, if you're a beginner, you can fly this one indoors or outdoors because it slows down enough that you can fly it outdoors or indoors in closed spaces. I was able to fly in between under these chairs over here, down under through the pilot stations. I mean, this thing was going everywhere. So I think that it has a lot of stability in stability mode. But if you go into acro mode, up high is where acro mode works really good. And I was able to do a loop with it without it totally freaking out. I didn't do any power loops or anything like that with it, but I don't really think it's made for that. It's not a freestyle drone by any means. Mostly it's gonna get you some really cool cinema style shots and get you, I mean, I was able to fly down in between these rows of trees, the Christmas trees out there on the very end of the field, which is not something I can do with the bigger ones. It's a lot harder with a 5-inch drone. So this little guy can go a lot of different places. But I think overall, I would say that for what it's made for, it's awesome. And it's under 100 grams. It's like 65 grams without the battery. It's still probably gonna get you under 100 grams with a 2S450. You can also run a 650 on here, and you're gonna get 7 to 8 minutes flight time, which is really amazing. So long flight times, a good price on it for what's on here. The components are looking pretty good. And they use some Happy Model motors, which are also plug and play. So if you fry a motor, you don't have to solder one back on. Pretty easy for the beginners to get into FPV, and primarily just a really fun drone to fly. I just wanted to keep flying batteries through it. This reminds me of like a little tiny hawk with foam bumpers. That is extra cool. And nylon inserts, 3D printed nylon ducts. So a very durable and fun little drone to fly. I'm gonna give this one 2 thumbs up because I think it's really cool, and it kind of hit me from left field. I didn't really expect this one. But thanks again, guys, for watching my channel. I'm Justin Davis. Please do subscribe for more drone videos and airplane, RC, and crawler, all kinds of stuff. We have all kinds of stuff coming up on the channel. Guys, take care. It's about to rain on me. I'll see you on the next one.